I know I haven't made a video in a long time, but today we're going to go ahead and change out the steering wheel on the S14. This thing looks like it has a 6-pack, so this thing needs to go. We're going to go ahead and start by taking off the bolts on the side of this thing, and I believe they use a Torx bit. I believe it's a 5/16 8mm, the ones that have a hole. I'll show you guys what it is right now. So there's a cover here that you need to take off, and there's one bolt there, and then there's one on the other side in order to remove the airbag. So here we have the 5/16 or 8mm Torx bit. I believe it is, mistake me if I'm wrong. I don't know how this works. This is just what it says here. So just make sure you have a Torx bit with the hole in the center like this one does here. Also make sure to disconnect your battery and make sure you leave it disconnected for about 10 minutes. So that way when you remove the airbag disconnected, it doesn't pop on you. I mean, there's a low chance that'll happen, but you never know. So just make sure you disconnect that battery. Now we need to remove this bolt here. Mine is already loosened up. So just make sure you loosen it up and then pop the steering wheel back so that way you don't hit yourself in your face. But the bolt is off. As you can see, now we could pull the steering wheel off and I'll show you what you need to disconnect. So now let's pull the steering wheel back. So there's a wire back here, let me show you, that goes into there. You can't disconnect it from there, so you're gonna go ahead and have to disconnect it from the inside right here. So you just unplug that and you're done. So now in order to remove the clock spring, you got to remove this panel here from the steering wheel column. Now you need to bolt these 4 bolts that are around the clock spring and it'll pull right out. Now I have the steering wheel hub in place. You got to make sure it's aligned correctly. You just got to make sure your steering wheel is straight before you start this whole process. That way it'll make it easier for you to align this. And if it's off by a little bit when you're driving, you could always adjust it by removing the hub again and twisting it around, putting it back in. So the hub is now on, the bolt is bolted down. Now we got to go ahead and throw on the steering wheel adapter to this. I have some bolts on there, but they were pretty beat up and I was missing one, so I ordered some new ones from NRG. So I bought the hub used, and that's why I had to replace the NRG bolts, as you can see here, and it's missing one. Here we have all the NRG bolts on. So now the steering wheel is on, but the horn doesn't work. I'm going to show you guys how to fix that. If we hook up this plug right here, you see where the brown wire goes. It leads to the green and white wire. So the way we're going to test it out is we're going to go ahead and put a pin right here where the green is, and then touch the other side onto the brass behind the steering wheel right here and see if that works. I bought this part right here. I'll show you guys in a bit how to hook this up. So pretty much I'm just going to hook it up to that point right there and make it touch the brass there. So every time I hit the horn, it works. All right, so just to test it out for you guys, I put that plug on that green and white wire. Now I just touched the back of the brass with the wire and there it goes. So we know that's our wire, and now it's time to hook that thing up. All right, so I managed to find a bolt that fit right there. I was gonna use the one that originally went there, but the hole on this brass piece right here was too small. You can drill it out bigger and use the stock ones that go there. I just didn't have the drill bits with me to do that, so I just found a bolt that fit in there. I mean, it's not tight or anything, but it's on there. As you can see, the brass is making contact there. So I put this wire in here where the green one goes and hit the horn, it'll work. So there's plenty of ways you could do this. You could splice the wire out of this harness here and then connect it just directly to this red one right here. But I'm going to keep this like this. I'm not going to cut the wire off this one. I'm just going to go ahead and put this wire in here, tuck it in there good, and then go ahead and tape it up so it doesn't come off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach one of those male connectors to this red wire, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach that T-tap to that green and white wire there. I stated on the video that I was just going to put the wire there, but that is not a good idea. I don't want the wire to jump to a different pin, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach it directly to the green one. So I'm just going to run this wire down real quick just to give me room to do what I need to do down here. So tap into the green and white wire. So as you can see, I tapped into that green wire using that T-tap right there. And then I connected this on here first to make it easier. Once I slide it back in through here, and then we hook this up to here. Now it's not working, so what I'm gonna do is bend this up and put it back there, and it should work. we go. And that's how you connect your horn on your S14 steering wheel.